Hello friends, I'm Megan and this is Jessie.
Hi. Hey Megan, I have a problem.
What's your problem, Jessie?
Well, my mom told me not to let my dog Max out of his fence.
That sounds wise.
Yeah, but my friend Sean wants me to let Max out. Sean wants Max to chase Mrs. Jones' cat Leo. Leo is a mean cat. He scratched Sean.
Oh, what do you think you should do, Jessie?
That's just it. I don't know what to do. I want to obey my mom and keep Max in the fence, but I don't want Sean to be mad at me.
That is a problem. I think today's Bible story might help you. Daniel and his friends had to decide if they would obey God or the king of Babylon. Listen to this story. Many years ago, God's people lived in a country called Judah. They had a king whose name was Jehoiakim. Jehoiakim did bad things, and God's people did bad things too. God was not happy, and he punished his people. God let another king come and take over Judah. The king's name was Nebuchadnezzar, and he was the king of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar and his army marched into Jerusalem and took over the city. They went into God's temple in Jerusalem and took things that did not belong to them. Nebuchadnezzar wanted boys to be brought to Babylon to serve him in his palace. So, a group of healthy, handsome, and smart boys were taken to Babylon. King Nebuchadnezzar gave them the same kind of food that he ate. He gave the boys the same kind of drinks that he drank. He chose men to be their teachers for 3 years. Then they would be ready to serve in the king's palace. 4 of the boys were different than the others. Even though they weren't in Judah, they still wanted to worship and obey the Lord, the one true God. These boys were named Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. God's rules said that his people were not supposed to eat the kinds of food that Nebuchadnezzar gave them. Daniel and his friends wanted to obey God. Daniel asked the man in charge if he and his friends could have vegetables and water instead. Daniel said, "Give us vegetables and water for 10 days. Then see if we are strong or weak." So the guard brought Daniel and his friends vegetables and water. After 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthier than the young men who had eaten the king's food. So the guard let them eat vegetables and drink water instead of eating the king's food. God was happy that Daniel wanted to obey him. God was kind to Daniel and his friends. He made them wise and smart. Daniel served the king for many years. Daniel and his friends wanted to obey God, and God helped them. In a greater way, Jesus always did what God wanted him to do. Jesus never sinned, but he came to earth to rescue sinners. God forgives and helps everyone who trusts in Jesus.